Hey, welcome to Squawking1200. We are situated at Kilo Hotel Foxtrot Delta in Hartford. It looks like World Traffic 3 is really doing its thing today. Kind of picking up where I left off on this little tour of the Connecticut River. We are now going to take flight in the Just Flight Piper Arrow. See if I remember how to start this thing up. It's been a week or two since I've done it. We're going to need some fuel. Let me check the fuel levels. Looks like a slight tank discrepancy. What we're going to do, we're going to just level that off a little bit. Alright, so it was, let's see, move the prop away. We're going to go battery on. Check the fuel. What's that? I don't want that. Gonna go fuel pump. Something's. Oh wait, no bueno. There we go. Battery. That's why the pressures didn't come up. There we go. I would like to turn that off so we don't blow that up. We're gonna go with a little fuel pump. Pump in a little fuel, and I think it was just started up. It's a weird way this thing, the key works. It's my only kind of criticism of this.
United 442 left turn on the runways approved if you can make it.
Alright, fuel pump off.
United 442, turn left on Sierra to the ramp, remain this frequency.
Let's see where the prop level's off here. Hopefully, let's see, Invisible 76 must have just joined as I took a little bit of a couple-minute break. And let's see, we want this. We're gonna reset mode.
Volunteer 1428 SO2. Roger.
Let's see, okay, timer's running.
Stage 5, proceed on runway 33.
Take a look over here.
And,
we're gonna go to heat.
Lima as well.
Flip on some lights. Gonna go to landing light. That's the fuel pump. That's all good.
Yeah, stage 5, just make the turnaround on Lima and hold short on the other side.
Let's
Lima,
check the temperature. Still going to wait a couple minutes here before the temperature goes up. Turned on the timer just so that we have a when to switch the fuel tanks. This is the Just Flight Piper Arrow. This thing is an amazing aircraft. In the background you hear Pilot to ATC, the newest version, 2.4.00. It's now 64-bit. We also have X-Plane Realistic running. And World Traffic 3. Let's check the radar. That's Boston. We're going to go KHFT, where we're currently situated. Select. There you go. Today's plan, we're just going to find some VFR to the north. We're just kind of doing a Connecticut River tour. Make sure a couple things are off X camera. Good. Looks like he probably just landed.
Charlie Mission India current altimeter 2938.
Alright, so we're going to go to the right. Looks like the temperature's coming up.
Volunteer 1428, Bradley Tower, runway 33, cleared for takeoff.
No, I'm going to hold here for a second. Set the brake.
Volunteer 1428. 28, departure frequency 125.35.
Did that go on? Okay, did go on. Go Hartford ground, 121.6. One thing I want to change is my call sign. I want to go call myself Piper.
885 Juliet Foxtrot, right on the ground, runway.
Save, turn off the config. There we go. Piper 12 Bravo, ready to taxi. Doesn't have my aircraft on the screen. It might not be connected. Let me reconnect.
Hartford Brainerd Information Whiskey. 1100 Zulu weather. Wind calm, visibility more than 10. Sky conditions 6,400 scattered, 8,400 scattered, temperature -11, dew point -34.
That's fixing itself.
Altimeter 3011. Arriving runway 02, departing runway 02. Advise on initial contact you have whiskey.
3011, I believe it said. Alright, so we're going to go to ground. Piper 12 Bravo, ready to taxi.
Piper 12 Bravo taxi to runway 20, hold short runway 20.
Taxi to runway 20, hold short 20, Piper 12 Bravo. And it should be 02, I believe. This thing is, I'm going to take a quick look here. 0220, so it wants us actually to go this way. Sorry, a little abrupt on the turn there.
Piper 12 Bravo contact tower on 119.6. Have a good morning.
Contact tower on 119.6, Cessna 12 Bravo.
12 Bravo tower frequency is 119.6.
119.6, Cessna 12 Bravo.
Added 442 left turn on the runways approved. If you can make it.
196.
Hartford Brainerd Information Whiskey. 1100 Zulu.
Piper 12 Bravo.
Contact tower on 119.6 Piper 12 Bravo.
It's weird on that read back. Hey, welcome to the channel. Let's see, is that Bell 123? K4 Bell. We're heading to runway 20. We're in the run-up area here. I'm going to adjust this really quick here in the X-Plane Realistic. The gravity motion thing is crazy. Engine, rain, flaps, gear, ground roll, braking. Is that head movement? It might be. G-force effects. I'm going to turn that down. Head anticipation, maybe what it was doing. Between that and the ground roll, or the gravity, there we go. Let's try that. It was a little overly sensitive. We're just doing a VFR flight in the Just Flight Piper Arrow. I had done a leg a little bit earlier. Started at the bottom of Connecticut. Prop cycling, props working. Alright. Does not look like runway there. It's weird, I should have got the map. I'm is. So we're going to depart to the south, and then we're going to bank left. Contact tower. Piper 12 Bravo, ready for departure, 20.
Piper 12 Bravo, winds are light and variable, cleared for takeoff. Runway 20, squawk 1200.
Cleared for takeoff, squawk 1200, Piper 12 Bravo. Ident, that's good. Piper 12 Bravo, request a left-hand departure. Piper 12 Bravo, request left departure. Let's see if it helps.
Piper 12 Bravo, cleared for left turnout. Monitor this frequency until clear of the terminal area.
Cleared for left turnout. We'll monitor this frequency. Piper 12 Bravo.
Piper 12 Bravo, confirmed. Please say again.
Alright, positive rate of climb. Looking good. Looking a little too much on that positive rate of climb. Gear up. We're going to take advantage of our left departure and then keep the river on the left side of the aircraft. Seems like it's climbing out really nice around 80. Climb here in a second. We're not going to go up too high, we're just going to take it up to 2,500 and we'll be able to follow the river right there. This is an amazing aircraft. This is going to be pretty much the standard at which I judge all other aircraft. Adding a bunch of trim, keeping it at a reasonable rate of climb. That is the city of Hartford. Down directly below us should be, somewhere in here should be Cabela's and where the University of Connecticut plays football. Maybe that's the stadium there. That should be over here. This is Route 84, and drop this in right there. We're gonna go. One thing about this aircraft, it trims out beautifully once you get it, so you don't really need. A couple people said there's no hold, there's no altitude hold in the autopilot. It just really has roll and heading. So I'm actually going to swing my heading mode to the correct. And then one thing that's been kind of corrected seemingly on a lot of aircraft is this does not line up with the magnetic compass automatically. Got to reset it. So there we go. Reset. trim lines up in a second here. Trim it up a little bit, trim it up. And probably just a little bit more. And now I'll just go with a little bit of throttle. So now we're on course following the Connecticut River. Really want to try to keep it to the left. It'll be a little easier to see. There's a little hesitation in the sim right there. I don't know if that's a scenery load. I've had very little problems with X-Plane 11.1. Frequency changed approved, Piper 12 Bravo. Good day.
Piper 12 Bravo. Frequency change approved. Report when back on frequency. Report when back on you, Piper 12 Bravo.
So whatever I said, it didn't quite understand what I was saying. One of the cool things about this aircraft is not that one, this one. So I can turn down. Yeah, a lot of stuff. It's got its own like mixer in. It's really nice. Handy while on stream. So coming up here somewhere on our left should be Bradley International Field. Autopilot and heading. There's some world traffic. We have traffic at our 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 1 mile up. I'm using Zoom level 17 ortho. Checking the gauges. Fuel looks good. Fuel looks good. How long have we been using this tank? 15 minutes. Let's flip. So I go down here. I have a button programmed in. Flip and reset. So every 15-20 minutes, kind of rotating the fuel. Surprised we didn't get a handoff into the Bradley airspace. I'm going to see if we can do a go to Tower 12030, and I'm going to ask for VFR. There's nothing that I really want to go.
Piper 12 Bravo back on frequency.
Let's see what this does.
Piper 12 Bravo, roger.
And so if I'm back on frequency, I want to check this and see if I can go clearance delivery. It's not the right thing. Pretty sure it would have been on the tower frequency. I'll leave it there. Trying to find the phraseology for the airspace. We're good. We're good. We're just on a VFR flight anyhow. And I think that we had radar contact coming out of Hartford. We may have been fine with that. Turn the landing lights off. Leave the rest of this stuff alone. I think I'm going to land probably Northampton and then just call it. So that should be Bradley right there. So one of the cool features on Just Flight is this windshield. Clear. Windex. Not clear. Windex. Gross. That's probably how my window would look. Actually, I'm kind of a stickler for kind of clean windows. You can almost always find paper towels in my vehicle. Tiny bit of trim. Let's see. Clear, clear. Barnes Air Force. I'm going to check and see what the Northampton is. See if I can find Northampton on my sky vector here. Make this a little wider here. So we flew from here, we're somewhere right about here. That's Westover, Northampton, 7 Baker 2, 7 Bravo 2. So I'm going to go 7. That's not what I wanted. Clear. Back. 7 Bravo 2 Northampton, enter. So I've got about an 11-minute flight. If anybody's got any questions about the Just Flight Arrow, I'd be happy to try to answer them. Seems like really all systems are modeled. There's very few things that aren't. Excuse me. Like these switches over here, these are modeled. I don't know how to get over there without making a mess. Sorry, we can fly from the right seat for a minute. It's the fan. Turn the fan on. Turn this off for a second. We can. Open up some, I think these are vents. Open up the air circulator. Oh, altitude air. That might be the alternate air. Let's not mess with that. ADF comms. Looking good. We're approaching Springfield, home of the Basketball Hall of Fame. I don't know if that's probably not modeled in the sim. I would think it would be somewhere like right along here. Whoa. Do not stick your hand out the window and check the oil. That is bad. Whatever this is, I don't even know what this handle is. Let's just say I'm not going to mess with that. I don't know. I've got to read through more of the fine-tuned procedures for this aircraft, I guess. Let's see. We're in a perfect heading. I'll keep this. Mount Tom. And then just past this will be Northampton. Little heading bug adjustment. So far the frame rates have been good. We have graphics really cranked up. We have the anti-aliasing. I dropped it back down to 2. Does it look better at 8? I think it does. Is it worth the frame loss to me? No. I'm running a 1080 graphics card, GTX 1080, with a 6700 processor, so for what it's worth, everybody kind of fine-tunes the sim. I think I like more auto-gen. I like more detail. The anti-aliasing doesn't seem to be that big a deal when it's down to 2. Little trim, little turn, little turn. Some people have been reporting certain issues. There's been some flickering and some views that have been changing. I have not had any issues, so to speak. My old version of the Caravan, I was having a very difficult time with the autopilot. I think there's something wrong with it, but that will require further testing. Other people seem to not have an issue with it. There was a tiny little hesitation right there. That could have been a scenery load. Let me check this stupid thing. Defender, make sure this thing stays off. It's off, good. Off. Kills and hesitates the sim like crazy, so if you have that on, that is one of my soapbox items, at least for this. I have a friend, doesn't seem to affect his sim nearly as much as it does this. This is West Springfield that we're over there. And then this is going to be probably I-90 coming in around here somewhere. Mass Turnpike. Might be this right there. I'm going to update World Traffic 3 to where am I going? K7B2, 7B2. Grave lights. And then just kind of as it generates ground routes, it'll hesitate a little bit. We're actually in the PA-20A. Generate those. Might blink black for a second, but it should come right back. I'm gaining more confidence in World Traffic 3 as I use it. I'm really looking forward to the day when it integrates with Pilot to ATC. You don't have real routes installed. That's something I'm going to look at. I know I don't have real world stuff installed because I don't necessarily care if I have realistic tube liners flying around at whenever. Kind of busting my altitude a little bit. Actually, Northampton will be right behind the little notch in the road here. So I'm going to turn right. Continuing following the Connecticut River. I have my heading bug attached to the right-hand toggle on my CH Eclipse joystick, if you're wondering. There's been some talk about sensitivity settings. My sensitivity settings for my joystick, I have them up pretty high. I'm going to lower these down just a little bit see what the difference is. You know, it helps with the deflection. It helps with the realistic feeling. I think everybody's like, "Oh, 0 is for most realism." No, 0 is uncontrollable. If you want to have control, you have to turn those up because there is. It acts, in my opinion, the way it seems to treat it is. the air moving over the surfaces. In an aircraft, the controls are not that sensitive. You have to move the controls and get the deflection. Where when those things are set down 0, you barely touch the controller, you barely move the rudder pedals, and you're all over the place. It's way, way too much. It's going to be experimental for everybody's equipment. Get prepped for some landing here. No, don't want to go like that. I don't want to climb. I want to go down slowly. So I think those are good starting points where mine are set. I've talked to a couple other streamers. They're definitely in the similar neighborhoods. But again, each user preference, each user's experience, computer settings, age of your yoke and pedals, each thing will be a contributing factor. This should be Northampton, I think, right there or right there. No, it would be on the right-hand side. It might be like right below here. Starting a nice gradual descent here. Gonna move away from Mount Tom a little bit. As the more I use X-Plane 11, the more and more impressed I am with it. These developers like Just Flight that haven't traditionally developed a lot of aircraft for X-Plane, it's incredible. This aircraft is got so many awesome details. The flight model is awesome. I think they got a home run here, and I think it's really kind of wrecked a lot of the aircraft that I have in my hangar. Is that it right there? Check how close I am. Gotta be like right on it. Alright, so not as close. That's the GPS. Alright, there it is. It's right below us. So we're going to enter on a left downwind. Going to follow the river. We'll take it up to the bend in the road here. And then land. Caution. Caution. We're going to go gear down. Hold that. Got a lot of wind noise, that's awesome. Trim this thing up a little bit. 3 in the green. Using a little altitude, much altitude, a little too fast here. Okay, so let's see. Set the heading bug. First notch of flaps. I didn't check the field elevation. we're good. We're just gonna kind of eyeball it. Going left. Second notch of flaps. Get me all lined up here. Gonna go third notch of flaps. Gonna bleed off some of this speed. Let it sink nice and steady here. There we go. Looking good. 2. Got the VASI system here. Clear these trees. We'll pull a little bit more power. Trim up here. Got wind. Got wind? Yeah, we got wind. Got something looked like it wanted to encroach on the runway. Kind of landing in the wrong direction. And hitting hard. And here comes our friend who was not checking the traffic pattern, even though he's kind of landing in the correct direction. There it is. My timing the flare is one of the, or your round out. Has been pretty tricky. Go up, and with the flaps. Pull off into the run-up area over here on the right. I should turn on the landing light. That would have been helpful. But that's the way we kind of do it. Sometimes on Squawking1200, we're kind of going to perfect the procedures as we go, but not in a time frame or anything like that. Let's see, it is 7:55 Eastern U.S. time. I'm going to say that's probably all I'm going to do for today. I'm going to upload these to YouTube, so comments, questions, if anybody has would like any more information, I'll be glad to pass along what knowledge I know. If you have a question about like any of the add-ons like World Traffic 3, Pilot to ATC, I highly recommend those. If you have questions about XP Realistic, again, I highly recommend that. And my highest recommended add-on is Ortho 4 XP. That's just changes the way everything looks when you're in flight. So this is Squawking1200, taking the power out of the engine, setting the brake, got all the lights off, keys off, trying to move the fuel selector, fuel selector off, and slide this down. Alt, bat, done. Concluded flight. We're gonna maybe pick up here again with our tour of kind of the Connecticut River in Northampton. Is that my headset? That's an interesting, like, trying to find out where that's coming from. Sorry for the distraction. shift. There we go. And here's an external view of the Just Flight Piper as we're going to fade off into the sunset. So that little curly thing is because the pilot is sitting in the plane. That is me. No, I look better than that. Awesome. So I just want to say again, thanks for taking the time to stop by my channel. Look forward to catching up with some of the other viewers as it goes. It is Friday, and we'll hopefully see you this weekend. Bye.